Back to the charts of Big Boss Crypto, and today we'll do some technical analysis on HBAR and why I strongly believe that we'll bottom out in one of these marked areas right here for HBAR. We'll go in depth about that. We'll also look at the technical analysis for the Bitcoin chart and its most likely bottom, the most likely top for the US dollar dominance index DXY, and the most likely bottom for the traditional stock market, namely the S&P 500. So without further ado, let's look at the charts. Okay, so looking on the HBAR chart right here, on the monthly time frame, we can see that we had an amazing bull run, but now we're in a terrible downtrend due to the current macroeconomic state we're in right now. And we still have a little bit more down to go before we can officially say that we are about to begin our next bull run. So, where is about to target this question? Well, if you use this tool right here called the fixed range volume profile, and basically draw it from the beginning to the end of the HBAR chart right here, and basically, with this chart, we can basically see the amount of volume over different price areas, and this is what the big institutions and whales always look at, because basically the price points that have most volume has most likely the most amount of liquidity. So basically, they always want price to revert back to the area so they can fill in their orders. And looking on this chart right here, we can see that we have two blue lines, and this basically is the value area low and value area high, which is like the majority of volume where price has been transacted. And with the red line right here called the point of control, where the most amount of volume has been transacted historically over this specific price point. And looking on our areas of interest right here, we can see that we have a high liquidity area, as I stated before. We have lots of volume. We've dealt with this indicator on the right here called PVSRA, which I highly recommend. And basically, the counts that are colored and unfilled basically signifies that we have high amounts of liquidity in these price areas, which we can see right here, for example. And in our first area of interest, we have, like I said before, high liquidity area and something called POC, which stands for point of control, which is this red line right here. As I said before, this is the price point where the most area has been transacted historically, which is at about 3.5 cents roughly. And not only that, we also have key support levels historically, if we look back on the chart right here, ever since 2020 roughly, which has been a key historical support area. So we'll most likely see price revert back there and retest the support. And basically, this price area range has been between 3.6 to 2.7 cents roughly. And in worst case scenario, in case that doesn't hold, if we see terrible downtrend and continue more down during the next year, we have our second area of interest right here, which is also a high liquidity area and basically the bottom from the end of 2019, with a value area low at right about zero point 0.9 cents, with key support lows, as I said before, and basically in total this area ranges in between 1.5 cents to zero point 0.9 cents. So basically be on the lookout for these areas and see how price reacts on these price areas. And once again, this isn't financial advice; it's only for educational and entertainment purposes. But personally, I'll be definitely loading up my HBAR bags right here. But we have to remember that in the end, HBAR and every other altcoin in the crypto space follows the price action of Bitcoin, and as it's the number one coin in the crypto space. So will it be in the future? Who knows? But that's what's happening for now. And the question is then, where might possibly the most likely Bitcoin bottom be in? And much like before, I've drawn an area of interest right here with confidence factors to point to this area being the bottom in between right about 11k to 3 to 4k US dollars roughly. And as I wrote right here, it 1.618 trend base fib target. You might wonder what that means. Well, if we zoom out on the monthly time frame and use our trend base fib extension tool from the April high to the summer low to the all-time high, we can see that we have a trend base fib target right about 10,672 US dollars right here. And as we can see here, price has tested 1.414 as support previously during the summer and early autumn, but that has failed to hold, and we are currently in our impulsive move down towards that target at least. So if we remove that one, and once again, Once again, I wrote that this is a high liquidity area, as with the help of our indicator right here, the PUSRA, we can see unfilled candle gaps on the weekly time frame over several price points, which are basically unfilled as for now. And as I said before, the big institutions and whales always want price to revert back to the area so they can fill in their orders and prepare for the next bull run. And also, I wrote something called the 1.618 fib target, which is basically a regular fib target. If we take our fib retracement tool from the summer low to all-time high, and much like before, we can see here that price has tested 1.272 as support historically since summer. That has failed to hold, and we're currently in our impulsive targets to the 1.414 and 1.618 targets potentially, which ranges to right about 3,964.49 US dollars right there. So, worst case scenario, we might see price come down to that area. That depends on the macroeconomic environment, as I said before. And besides that, I mean, if you look back historically, we have key monthly support areas. If you look back on the Bitcoin chart, ever since 2018, and also since March 2020, when we had our nasty and terrifying drop right there. This is an important historical support level that we might probably see be retested again. And in turn, the crypto market overall follows the traditional stock market's price action, namely the S&P 500. So the question is then, where is the potential bottom for the S&P? And like before, I draw my confluence areas right here, where we have an important level to hold right about 3,200 to 3,100 roughly. And if that doesn't hold, we can expect price to most likely bottom out in between the right about 2,000, 2,500, 400 roughly. As we basically have several fib targets to the downside here, pointing to this being the bottom. High liquid area, as I said before, with this indicator on the weekly time frame. And also, as you can see right here, we have the monthly 200 EMA to act as potential huge crucial support. And on the weekly time frame as well, we have the 800 weekly EMA to also potential test as crucial support. So be on the lookout for that one, absolutely. And also in contrast to that, be on the lookout for the DXY. And if you don't know about the DXY, basically when the DXY is in a uptrend, that is bearish for stocks and crypto, and vice versa when the DXY is in a downtrend, that is super bullish for crypto and stocks. So basically, we strongly believe that the DXY will top out in between 128 to 144 roughly. How we got that is if we zoom out and draw a regular fib tool from the 2001 high to the great financial crisis of 2008 low. We can see right here, price is currently retesting the golden pocket as support right here, which is a huge resistance and support area on the fib levels historically. And we can see right here that the DXY has retested it basically as resistance ever since 2017, 2020 as well, being rejected. And now we can see that it's being held as support actually, which is, yeah, expect the DXY to continue to pump upwards towards our impulse targets. Most probably our 1.272, 1.414 targets right here, in between 134 and 141. So yeah, that will be pretty bearish for Bitcoin and crypto overall. And also another confluence area, if we zoom out further and take our fibs from the high of 85 to the lows of 2008. We can see right here, as I said before, the golden pocket fibs, 0.618 and 0.66 golden fibs right here. As I said before, these are strong resistance areas where basically price most highly likely rejects from. And that range is in between 128.8 to 132.75 roughly. So with all these confluence factors, we most likely believe that this area will be the top for the DXY, and when we reach that area, most likely this next bull run will begin. That's all for me. Thank you so much for your time. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, or leave a dislike if you didn't. We want to wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Big Boss team. And it's been so fun to watch the growth of our YouTube channel these late little months, as we will absolutely continue to keep giving you daily updates throughout 2023 as well. We are the real of the real of crypto YouTubers and want to give you the real raw info. And this might seem rough right now in the current bear market we're in, but when we will most likely reach these price areas, once again, this is not financial advice, we will personally begin loading up our bags, and hopefully we will look back to it to this time in a couple of years as being a historical moment to buy crypto. This is Big Boss Crypto, the real of the real of crypto YouTubers. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Big Boss out.